Hi there, it's Grace here from grace-marshall.com, and today I want to ask you, how often do you review your business? Now I don't just mean sit back and have a think about where you're at and what you'd like to do next. It's important to do that regularly, but actually I mean getting the books out and reviewing the numbers. Now I have to confess, I'm not really a numbers person. I can do them, but they just don't usually excite me. So given the choice, I can be very easily diverted from looking at the numbers. Having said that though, I do recommend that you do review your numbers from time to time, because you might be surprised by what you find. And the reason that I like to review my business is so that I can identify what's really working well. Not just have a hunch. I mean, hunches are great, but sometimes your hunches can be skewed by how much effort you're putting into something, where your focus is. So actually just to have the plain data, have the numbers, give you a good picture of what's going on, of what's working really well, that can give you so much value. So how do you do that? Well, the good news is it's really simple, which is great because I just love simple. And so let me just talk you through a little bit how I like to do this. Well, first of all, I like to get a list of my sales together, and to actually start grouping them into, rather than looking at everything in detail, which you can just kind of get lost in the detail, is to start grouping it into categories that make sense for me. So for me, that tends to be people who've either bought resources from me. So these might be the recordings from the teleseminars that I do, it might be the self-study version of my productivity guide, that sort of thing, so the information and resources. Then I have people who have been on a group program or a workshop of some kind. And then I have people who I've worked with on a one-to-one coaching basis. So that might be people who've taken the coaching option of my productivity course, or people who've just booked in separately individual coaching sessions or a group of coaching sessions with me. And then finally, I also do in-house training. So that's where businesses will get me to come in and work with them as a team to help them make the most of their talents and time as a team. So that's how I would categorise the types of products that I have and how I can group myself into kind of those kind of categories. Now for you, you need to look at what works best for you. So you may have just one product, you may have one service. For example, if you're a photographer, the core of what you do is take photos, sell photos. However, obviously you do a lot more than that, and you may do that for different uses, so different occasions. You may have event photography as one thing, you may have weddings as something else, you may have portraits, you may do kids. So group yourselves into the things that make sense for you. And that might be to do with the type of product, it might be to do with the way people are using your product, it might be to do with the type of service or how much involvement you have. So for me, it's information, resources, it's workshops, it's coaching, and it's training. And then what I do is I will just add up the sales, basically. Add up all the sales that you have, and that gives you a number, gives you a figure of how much you've actually brought in income-wise in each of those categories. And then what you can do is work out a percentage. And from there, you can give yourself a big picture. And I think mine looks something like that, where you have resources, workshop, coaching, training. And by doing that, giving yourself that big picture, it just really gives you a really simple overview, a snapshot overview, rather than looking in detail at every single transaction, to give you a good idea of what people are buying, how they like to access the information, the support that I have to give. Whether that's as information or as training in a group format or on a one-to-one basis, it gives me that idea. It means that I can tailor my products and my services much more precisely to actually what people want. And so I'd encourage you to do that, to have a look and see what's working well, see what people are buying, see how people want to access your products and your services. And the next thing I do is then take the same sales but group them differently. I then use them to look at my marketing. So grouping into marketing, that was basically looking at each item, looking at how the business came to me, how people found out about me, and how people found out about what the product or the service that they bought. And so for me, that went something like this. I have people who find me online or via social media. I have people who find me through my newsletter, so they've been following my newsletter for a while, they've been reading my blog for a while, they're kind of part of my community of subscribers. Then I have people who I meet in a networking environment, either through big events or regular meetings. And also as part of that, what I did separate it was masterminding groups that I go to or training courses that I do. And these tend to be people who I meet with, and the meeting isn't about promoting your business, but you do sort of develop that connection, you get to know each other, and as a result of that connection, that relationship, some businesses come out of it. And then finally, I've also got personal connections. So these may be people who I've known for quite some time, friends of mine, or people I've connected with, and we've developed a relationship along the way. And that's how it's kind of panned out for me. It may well look very different from you. You might want to categorise things differently in terms of what's come through advertising, what's come through word of mouth, what's come through social media. Just do what works for you. And again, I added up all the items, looked at how much business had come in terms of income, in terms of a percentage, and again, put that into a project. And here's the thing that I found. Actually, over all these added up to about 90%. I found that over 90% of my business in the last year has actually come from some kind of connection or interaction, some kind of personal connection. So either they've been people I've known for a while, or they've been people I've trained with, I've masterminded with, or they've been people who have come through from having a conversation from a networking environment. And to me, that was such an insight. And it's funny because it makes absolute sense, because coaching is something that is quite personal. You need to be working with someone that you resonate with, someone who can help you get the best out of you. But the other thing as well that it did for me was it confirmed something that a friend of mine dropped into conversation a couple of weeks before I did this exercise. And she said, "Grace, you're amazing at forming connections." Now this friend is super enthusiastic, so she says amazing a lot. But I thought, really? I mean, I know that I love connecting with people, it's something I really enjoy doing, but I didn't realise that it was something that actually stood out about me. And often that's the thing with our strengths do get disguised by how naturally they come to us, so sometimes it takes that outside perspective to kind of highlight that for us. And so when she said that, and then the numbers came through, and I found that 90% of my business this year came from having some kind of personal connection with the people that I did business with, it confirmed what she said, and the penny dropped. And what I found was this very clear trend. And what this means is that I can now clearly focus on what's working, what's already working, and actually harness this strength of connection and apply it even more to my business. So looking ahead, for example, I'm going to be actively connecting more, getting out to more networking events, connecting more with potential partners and doing some more collaboration. I'm going to be looking for opportunities to connect more personally with you, with my community of subscribers, because it's only when you get to know me personally, when you get to meet me, whether that's online, whether that's face to face, have some kind of interaction, That's when you can get to know me, that's when you can decide, you can make that decision of whether we'd get on, whether we'd be a good fit, whether what I have to offer is right for you. And so what I would encourage you to do right now is to get your diary out and block out some time to review your business, to actually look at your numbers. So I would suggest actually just 20 to 30 minutes is plenty to give you some great insights to start with. And by the way, if you're the type who loves to analyse and really get into the details, then actually setting that time limit can be a good way of making sure that you dive in, you get the information you need, and you come out with plenty of time left to actually implement it, so you don't actually get lost in all the details. And equally, if you're the other way around, if the thought of numbers just terrify you, then setting a time limit also means that it makes it manageable, and it means you've always got the exit in sight as well. So schedule in 20 to 30 minutes to look at the numbers, to get a feel for what's really working and look at what's really working well in your business. And then ask yourself, what does that mean for you in your business going forwards? What can you do more of? And what can you do differently to make 2012 an even better year? And then finally, if you've enjoyed this video, if you like what you see, like what you hear, then do join me. I'd love you to join me on my mini workshop that's happening next week on the 29th of November. It's an online workshop, so it's really convenient to get to. It's a one-off event, there's no big commitment, and it's really all about clearing the decks before Christmas. So we'll be working together, we'll be interacting and getting even more clarity for you, basically. It will be all about getting clarity for you on what you want to wrap up before Christmas in your business, to get you equipped, get you resourced and re-energized so that you can get it done. You can get it done so that you can start and celebrate the festivities with your family with that job done feeling, and so that you can actually enjoy that time, that celebration time, guilt-free with your family without having to worry about or stress about your business. So if that sounds good to you, you can grab your place at grace-marshall.com/clear-the-decks, or you can follow the link below. So I hope to see you there, and thanks so much for watching.